rocking and rolling. Hey, what's up, everybody? God is awesome. God bless America. How you living? We definitely need to bless America. Everybody, if you're trying to get in, go out and come back in. Um, we're going to test and see if this is working well. Good. We got people coming in like crazy. This is amazing. We're going to do a good job today. We're going to deal with the real law. Um, I see, I think YouTube is saying I got 45 people watching, and my app is saying I got 5 people watching. So it could be kind of funny. I don't know. But let me know if you guys can see me. I'm going to pray real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, please bless our time today. Please bless this video. Let things go well. Let us show the people what the truth is and make things happen. Let me be able to do screen share, and please continue to bless us, keep us, and guide us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. So I see a good number of people coming in. Today we're going to deal with some hot fire stuff like never before. You guys know that I love teaching you guys and showing you guys the amazing law as it is written. I like to show you guys the Constitution in the several states and the 50 states. And when you see it, what's up, Sean K? When you see the Constitution and what it says, it makes it really difficult for anybody to be able to lie to you or defeat you when it comes to the law. And so I enjoy this. I enjoy having people learning how to stand. I enjoy watching people gain knowledge and understanding and wisdom and being able to take things to the next level. If you can, guys, you only got sound on the left channel. Test, 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 test. Is the sound clear? Let me know if you guys can hear me. More volume. Test, 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 test. Let me know if you can hear me well, guys. Still low. It's better now? Okay. So I'm getting some thumbs up. Okay, so guys, what I wanted to do, only on left, it's clear, but only on left. Okay, no right channel. You're good. Left is fine, no right. All right, sounds good. So guys, what I want to talk to you about is simply that, many of us got to see what was happening in the court case with Matt DePerno yesterday and Big Bill Bailey, who I love. And if you notice, what ended up happening is that, hey, Sparta, people or the judge was almost seeming like that he needed some type of statutory permission to be able to do. I only hear Mike Tyson. That's funny. He needed some type of statutory permission to do what the Constitution said. I believe that the Constitution was very clear. I believe that the Constitution made a lot of sense. And I think that it's a sad thing when we get these judges and attorneys, not speaking of Matt, because Matt is one of the good guys, but we get these judges and attorneys. If you have no sound, go out and come back in. These judges and attorneys who try to make it look like the government gives us instructions on how we are to live. They give us instructions on how to get remedy, on what we can do and how we can do it. And they're really dealing with the law backward. How many people can understand what I'm saying when I say this? If you feel like you have to write a statute for every single thing that you could possibly write, you could possibly write in every single little bitty issue and every single little bitty thing, it really doesn't make sense. And what I'll tell you is that our foundational principles and law comes from the Constitution. Hey, Citizen Science Oral Health Project. Our Constitution is our fundamental law. It is the framework that binds government and lets them know what it is that we expect them to do and how they are to do it. And I'm sorry, but for a very long time, government officials have been believing that they can do whatever they want to do. they believe that they have the power to tell us how to live. Um, they believe they have. Oh wow, Josh just sent me something amazing. The states created the federal government, not the other way around. HR1 is a DC power grab from the Constitution demands 50 checks against. I sent this out to Arizona senators urging them to vote no on HR1. No, we the people created. That's right. We the people actually allowed them to come together for a more perfect union. Um, but guys, so the Constitution has been taught backwards. The powers of the people have been taught backwards. In our country, we don't have a king. And what's happening is those who are in the executive branch, for some reason, they want to be kings and knights and stuff, where they can tell us what to do, and they could come take our property at will, and we just have to bend down and bend over and let them do whatever they want to do. And it's crazy, right? Initiative to the judge, give notice. Not necessarily initiative to the judge. Wrong, Branovich. It's not necessarily an initiative to the judge. What it is it's simply what he needs is instruction. So it's deep because there was a gentleman on Gail Golick's show the other day named John Gentry. And John Gentry is a man who found me on Facebook years ago. He's a military guy. And I was teaching the law on Facebook, and he saw the video, one of the videos, and he got in touch with me. And he's like, "Oh man, I just love you, man." So he took me and introduced me to a gentleman named Chris Hallett and another gentleman that they work with. And we ended up starting to talk. We got super cool. I'm like, man, I like this guy, you know? And so he invited me on their show. They had a law show, and he invited me on, and I was able to talk about how I was doing a Supreme Court affidavit to trap people who were doing things wrong in Arizona. So I was able to take information from a case that I had, and where they were breaking the law and lying and cheating and doing all this dirty stuff, I was collecting the evidence, right? And then I made an affidavit for the Supreme Court telling everything they were doing in the other court. And then I took all those documents and all the evidence they hid, and I put it on the public record because I knew they were using private court. Put it on the public record so that everybody could see all the lies and everybody connected, which me and the gentleman who helped me to learn, he knew, the judge learned from Matt that this decision would set a precedent, and he was not willing to make judgment without more info. Well, I mean, the thing is that the decision does not just set precedents, because Matt talked about another judge who already told that the people had the power to get an audit whenever they wanted to. Everybody share this with someone or some people. Hey, Marcia. So, guys, we got to understand something. All this setting precedent stuff is a way for them to make you think that they have the power to make decisions over certain issues and control the outcome of the issues in every situation. Let me help you understand something. Before the law comes out, right? I'm sorry, before any judgment comes out, there is first a law that the judges are presented. So when it comes to the constitutions of the state, it is the fundamental law of the people. The people say, if you're going to bring any of us to court, you got to have a warrant. If you're going to arrest anybody, you got to have a warrant with probable cause sworn by oath or affirmation. Now, that's already what we demand as a people. If you're going to do a case where you're going to take life, liberty, or property, we have to have a jury. That's in the Constitution. So what happens is the judges read the dang law, see the state trying to do something, right? They read the law and say, well, what did the state constitution say? Okay, the state constitution says you have to have a warrant. Okay, so when you try to arrest someone without a warrant, the government officials, the judiciary can say, hey, wait. Y'all made a mistake. Y'all issued a warrant. You issued an order for this guy to be taken, but you had no warrant. Or you just decided to take this guy in. You had no warrant. You went against his rights. So did the judge create some case law of what to do when you want to arrest somebody? Or did the people lay down the law and say, listen, don't go around arresting nobody unless you have a warrant? It's real simple. So these people are playing games trying to make y'all believe that that they don't, they control some law, or they make a law, or the people inside of the judiciary is making case law. This is a hoax, y'all. If you cannot hear the left channel on your headphone, the right channel volume is not working. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all, if it's bad. Some of these apps only use one type of sound. So I want to show you guys something if I can. Please forgive me for my hand being in the way. I don't know how this is going to work yet because this is my first time doing it. So what I want to do is try to, I want to do a streaming. So hopefully this will continue to work. Hopefully I'll be able to do it, and y'all forgive me, I got my friends over, so they're going to be loud at times. Start screen capture right from the app. Okay, guys, let me know if you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Still buffering. Okay, can you guys hear me? Oh, wait, you can see my screen? Can you see me, or can you see my screen? Mom spaghetti. Okay, can y'all see me or my screen though? Both. How the heck you gonna see me and my screen? You no screen. Okay, you're good now. Okay. Okay, I think I'm not gonna be able to open it that way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to read to you guys what it is that I'm reading then. That will make it work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to a affidavit that I created, and I'm gonna show you what, forget that. I'm gonna go to the Michigan Constitution. That'll be even better. So I'll type in, and anybody else can go here with me if you want, just so you know I'm not making up stuff. Okay, so, all right, I'm gonna go to Bruce Lee movie. That's messed up. Michigan Constitution. So y'all can see I'm on the Michigan Constitution, right? Michigan Constitution, right? Okay, try not to focus on my mouth, y'all. I know it's messing y'all up or whatever, making y'all sad, but this is important stuff. So we don't want to get too focused on how crazy my mouth is moving, right? We want to deal with the law. We want to get right. So if you got to close your eyes and just listen to me, just close your eyes, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the section of the Constitution in Michigan that Matt read from yesterday. Now, that's section 2. I actually did a affidavit about this, and I was begging people around the country since December of last year, please come if you want to help, because if you're in Michigan and you're a fighter, we can get an audit without even having to go to a court. And nobody accepted. Everybody was kind of just whatever, right? So I'm going to read to you guys from text of section 4. Text of section 4 in the Michigan Constitution, and it's Article 2. Now, text of section 4, place and manner of elections. Number 1, every citizen of the United States who is an elector qualified to vote in Michigan shall have the following rights. Let's see A. The right, once registered, to vote a secret ballot in all elections. Now we're going to go down to section H. And the reason we're going to go down to section H is because it's going to blow your mind and help you to understand how things really work. Now, remember, the constitutions are made not just to tell us as the people what it is that we have the power to do, but the Constitution is also made to bind the government and outline a structure for granted authority that they have. And that authority that they have is to protect us and our rights, right? Is not to protect them, is not to help them get what they want. Now, if you see right here in H, it says the right to have the results of the statewide election audited. Now, this is in the state constitution, and I'm sorry if it is backwards. But guys, notice that it says the right to have the results of the statewide elections audited. Now, why is this important? The reason that this is important is people are trying to get you to believe, and the statutory system does this, that in order for someone to see what has happened in the selection, that you must prove that there was some FRAU dizzy, right? Some frizzard. The sad thing is, everybody, if you can't deal with the screen, just close your eyes like this. All right, this is important business. So notice that the state constitution said that the right to have this, and then it says, comma, in such manner as prescribed by law. Now realize there's law that already exists in the Constitution already. So this doesn't mean that you have to create a special law and a whole bunch of them to make this happen. If you don't make a dang extra set of statutory law for this, it's still valid on its face by itself. It doesn't need a crutch, right? But it says the right to have the results of the statewide selections audited. Now, when somebody is trying to find frizzard, you have to be able to point at something and say, see, right here, there was frizzard, where everybody can see it. We can arrest, we can make warrants, we can get discovery and delve deeper into it because we're proving an argument about somebody doing something wrong. We're saying they did wrong, we're standing on it, and now we're trying to prove it and we're investigating. This is not the same as the right, right? Now notice in the Constitution, a right was set forth. The people declared something to be their right in the fundamental law. We don't need any more fundamental laws to tell us that this is a right. We don't need a crutch. We don't need a pass. We don't need a permission slip. It says what it says, right? Now, the right to have the results, right? So what does this mean? So if you have results that come out, you aren't calling it frizzard. You're just calling it results, right? So everything that came out has the ability to be scrutinized. Everything, right? And in order to scrutinize it, you got to look at everything that was involved. To know what came out, right? You have to look at what came in. Let's take a paternity test. If you see a baby and you want to know if a baby belongs to this man, you have to test the mom and test the man. And you know what went in from the man, brought forth what came out as the baby, right? So the results, also the baby has to get tested. So whatever is produced must be checked, and then that you must trace back to everything that was put in order to see if the product came from where it is that they say. Now, watch this. Now, people make this argument. I think it's a very bad argument. They say, well, we need to check the ballets so we can look for frizzard. No, that is not what you want to do. You don't want to look at the ballets to find frizzard. And me and Josh talked about this a lot. He can tell you. I say this all the time. Look, don't even mention frizzard. Don't even mention it. You don't want to have to prove it. So all you need to do is show Sorry, my screen left. All you need to do is show that there was results. And then the state constitution gives you the right to check them as the people. It's a different standing. As a public worker, if you're coming as a person in a public status and trying to use a statute, you are wasting the people's time and dollars if you are looking for Frizod, but you don't have any proof that there is none. So they got all these statutes to make you prove yourself to get in court and stay in court. Now, watch this. So it's going to get even better. And everybody make sure they share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. Watch this. The Constitution, which I didn't hear Matt say this part, I wish he would have. And I think they should make not a new case, they should go straight to the legislature and fix this using this. Watch this. The right to have results of statewide selections slotted it in such manner as prescribed by law, comma, why? To ensure the accuracy and integrity of selections. Y'all see that? The idea is not to try to find Frizod. The idea is you have the right to get the sorted, right? You got the right to check all the stuff. Why? Because you have to ensure the accuracy and integrity of selections. I don't give a darn about finding fraud. All I got to do is check to ensure the accuracy and integrity. That's what we're trying to do. We want to know if it's accurate. We use programs like what Jovan uses to see if the paper and what the machines say the paper should say and the artifacts on the paper. Jovan uses a technology, kinematic technology, that tells if the stuff on the paper matches what we're being told. That ensures accuracy. When you start claiming that people are committing Frizod, you got to prove it. You got to prove it. We don't want to prove a dang thing. Why? You work for me. It's like if I have a business, right? If I have a business and I come in as the head guy and you're my employee and I say, I'm going to check the registers, check everything, make sure everything is on the up and up, check inventory today. And you say, no, you can't check it. What? You can't check it unless you follow our procedure under 4.2525236 statute of the corporate bylaw. Shut the freak up. This is my company. I'm coming to check to make sure everything is accurate. I don't need to have some wrong to point out to test and make sure things are accurate. 100% accurate. I don't play that game with you. I run the business, right? So this is where the attorneys have ideas, and I'm not speaking bad about Matt. I love Matt. But this is a concept where the attorneys are like, it costs too much to check everything. And the judge is like, well, what if everybody wanted to do it? That would cost a lot of money. Shut the freak up. You're using our money for everything you do. It's our money. Shut up. If I have the power to check the selection for accuracy to ensure it, I don't need you to freaking tell me how to do it. We'll deal with how to do it. You just make sure you get your anus out the way and make it easy for us to do it, right? So this is where we're getting in trouble. Now, Josh will tell you I make this argument from 6 months ago in Arizona. I'm like, Josh, let's not ever mention fraud. Don't ever say that word. Don't say it. Let's just say they have a duty to look into this situation because we had all these bad things happen. Therefore, we submitted affidavits from the people along with our issue, which is like a remonstrance, where we're checking them and putting things order and telling them what our problem is. Now, we need you to redress, fix it. So we gave them what is called affidavits of treason and affidavits, misprision of treason and misprision of felony, because we showed them what happened to people in their own words. Now it's your duty to do the people's business and make sure stuff is good and to check into it because of all these things that people said in affidavits that no judge can swear didn't happen. And the judge is like, so you're telling me that the people have a right by themselves to get a selection? And then Matt said, yeah, it says the right to have results of statewide selections audited. Then he said, but we don't know what statewide means. Let me help y'all understand something. People who were not super smart attorneys helped write this Constitution. And when they say the right to have the results of statewide selections sorted it, right? Checked out. What they mean is the whole freaking state, every county, every political subdivision that's part of these votes. We have the right to do the whole thing. So let me help y'all understand something, how simple this is. The judge who works for the state, this is what I would have said to him. The judge is like, so you're telling me everybody has this right? It's like, yeah, and you already swore to it when you got elected, and you swore to protect and uphold the state constitution? Yeah, you swore that the people had this right, and you agreed, along with everybody else in the state, including the legislature and the executive branch, y'all all agreed that the people had this power. It is a power, guys, under what is called the common law. The common law is the bills and declarations of rights, the laws that are common to this land. Any man or woman who creates the freaking state has the power to check on the state inherently. But they don't want y'all to know this. Now, they had some more arguments about, well, the legislature didn't write a statute that says how we could do it. And there's some statutes that says we can't do it that way. Now, let me help y'all understand about something to the common law. It's a maxim of law that no statute by the legislature can derogate or take away from the common law. None of it. None of it can take away from the rights of the people. They can only make statute to make your rights covered even with more broad and encompassing power. They can't take away from your power. Now, I'm going to help y'all see this. In the case called Miranda versus Arizona, it said this. Where rights, now remember, I just showed y'all, it says the right to have results of statewide selections audited in such manner as prescribed by law to ensure the accuracy and integrity of the selections. The people who wrote this wanted accuracy and purity in their selections. That was the purpose. So then, if that's the case, can the legislature make anything that makes it harder to get the purpose fulfilled? No. And is this a right secured in the Constitution? Yeah, we're reading it right here in the Constitution. Miranda versus Arizona says this. Where rights secured in the Constitution are involved, there shall be no rulemaking or legislation which would abrogate them. So the executive branch can't create any rules that say we're going to change the rules so that the people can do something else to check for selections. No, this is a right secured in the Constitution. You don't get to touch that, baby, right? Now, let's go to the next part. It also says no rights, no rulemaking or legislation. That means the legislature has no power to do that. So the legislature can't even write a statute that would reduce your power. Remind me in about 2 minutes, KK, and I'll tell you what quo warranto is and explain it. Now, let's watch this, y'all, because they don't have the power to do this. Now, I'm going to show you how nobody ever had to go to court to do this, and this is how me and Josh did it, and we did not use a single court. And notice, y'all, people will laugh at us all day, and people will say, well, we don't, you're not an attorney and we can't trust you to be able to, look, I don't need you to trust me. I don't care if you like me or not. But notice that Arizona is the only state that is standing with the audit going right now, the way that we demanded it on paper with the notices and the people who we serve notice to leading the charge. I don't give a darn about what people say about not being an attorney and all this and all that. The attorneys are having a hard time. Not because some of them are not good people, because I love Matt. They're having a hard time because they've been taught backwards in school on purpose. They've been taught backward. Now watch this. Let's see if I'm telling y'all the truth about them having the power to write in laws that go against our rights. Now, Matt didn't bring this up the other day, but I'm going to read straight from what the dang text says. All rights, so we know it's rights in the Constitution, right? Set forth in this subsection shall be self-executing. You know what that means? All that means is I got to just give you a notice and say you got to do it. And that's it. I'll hit you with a notice straight to the legislature, and the legislature will see what it is that they're supposed to do. And if they don't do it, they're guilty of crimes against the people, heavy crimes against the people, not following their trust indenture called the Constitution. Now, let's see if I'm telling y'all the truth about these rights that the legislature cannot mess with, and they can only expand our powers. They can't go against them. Watch this, because I wish to God Matt would have said this. It would have shook the whole nation. It would have shook everybody watching. It would have shook the freaking court. The judge would have started shivering. And we should write notices and put this in the judge's box from people all over the country. Say, oh, we know what you're doing, and this is what it says. And you swore to this already, didn't you? Watch this. This is going to get good. This subsection shall be liberally. Y'all, you know, they like the liberals, the ones who just do everything all wide out in the open. Liberally. Like if you putting butter on the bread and you got somebody who's cheap, you got some spaghetti, and then you got somebody making butter bread with garlic, and they put a little bitty sliver of butter on the bread. That is not liberal amounts of butter, right? If you're going to do liberal, you got to like slap it on and toast the junk, and it got to be melting in your mouth, right? Liberally construed. Watch this. This subsection shall be liberally construed in favor of voters' rights in order to effectuate its purposes. Not the government, not those saying they're trying to save money or there's no statute that tells them how to do it, right? Watch this. Now we talking about the legislature. Let's see if Dave is telling the truth or Dave is lying. Watch. Super simple and easy. Watch this. Nothing contained in this subsection shall prevent the legislature from expanding voters' rights beyond what is provided herein. So it just said you can't write nothing. This is Michigan Constitution. This is the voter section, Article 2, and I'm reading to you from Section H and below it. Now, it says the legislature can write something to make it bigger and better for us, but it also says they can't write anything that'll make it worse. So why we in court talking about some statutes and how it can limit and all this bull crap? I'm taking y'all straight to Michigan Constitution, and it's telling y'all the people got all the power. The people are the tough ones. The government officials work for them, and they can write something to make their power even bigger and show it so everybody acknowledges it, but it's already there. The people don't need your freaking help to make it more precise or smaller, right? You're going to magnify the power of the people. You're not going to take away from it. Y'all catching this? See, this is the thing, guys. They have taught attorneys that the government is giving people their power or their rights through the 14th Amendment, First Amendment, through the federal 14th Amendment, through this and through that and blah, 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 blah. No, in the states, you already have guarantees from the dang state workers. I don't need to run to the United States Constitution to tear their back out with what they already swore to. I would have turned to that judge and be like, yo, judge, did you swear to the state constitution, judge? Yeah, you realize all y'all swore to that, right? So where did you get this power to not do what the people said? Where'd you get this power? Now, I wrote, I gave this affidavit, I think, to CanCon and Nick and them. I think Nick, some months ago, and they gave it to Matt, and Matt got to look at it, I think. But they were wondering when it says prescribed by law. And I think it threw them for a loop a little bit. Prescribed by law just means the law that's already there, which tells everything, and any new law that will expand the people's rights. Anything that doesn't expand and goes against automatically erases it. But the judge already swore to this. I would blow the judge back out. I'd be like, judge, you don't have jurisdiction to stop me. You swore already when you got paid money that you were for this. You swore you would protect us, didn't you, Judge? You swore to be self-executing. You swore the legislature can't make anything to go against it, but they can make something to help it, right? Yeah. So, Judge, what it says here is the law. It's the freaking law. You can't go against what we say. Now, guys, it's funny because people will try to play games and get funny and try to deceive you and trick you as if you don't have the power that you have. And in no republic do you have the power to vote away anybody's rights. It don't exist. You can't vote away my rights. So when somebody tries to say that, oh, we have the power to vote something away that you have, it's a bunch of bullcrap, because the Constitution is based on the common law, which comes from the Bible. Now, somebody will be silly and try to say, well, David, you can't use common law because that's not real. David, you can't use the common law because that's not real. That don't exist. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to deal with this junk. Notice I don't make up nothing, y'all. I'm not just giving y'all stuff out my mind. I'm literally walking you to the state constitution that these people swore to all day and night. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you to Article 3 of Michigan Constitution, right? And this is general government. General government, right? Now, I'm not making this up. I'm taking y'all. Watch this. So people laugh. They're like, you can't use common law. Common law don't exist. We don't know nothing about no common law. My mama and daddy in the attorney school didn't teach me about no common law. Right? What's that word right there in section 7 of the section I just showed, article I just showed y'all? Common law and statutes. Continuance. Y'all see this? Common law and statute. I ain't even practiced truck TKRB guy. I didn't even practice. I'm just showing y'all from the dome and from what I saw from when I went to the state constitution. So watch this. The common law and the statute laws now in force, not repugnant to this Constitution, shall remain in force until they expire by their own limitations or are changed, amended, and repealed. Guys, you can't wipe away common law unless you're using other common law. So the thing is that this state came into being using common law and certain statutes. The bills and declarations of rights are the laws common to all man. Everybody in the state of Michigan, you could go to the bills of rights and just read down, and you're going to find that those are the laws common to everybody. Common to everybody. Guys, our forefathers wrote these fundamental laws. We don't need to be an attorney to learn what they wrote for us to see. Here's another one, guys. Here we go. Y'all see this? Either house of the legislature or the governor may request the opinion. That's what they give, opinions about what the Constitution says. Of the Supreme Court on important questions of law upon solemn occasions as to the constitutionality of legislation after it's been enacted into law before its effective date. So they use the judges to give an opinion about if the dang laws are constitutional. What is the judge using to tell if it's constitutional? Oh, He's using the Constitution. Well, where did that come from? The people. They're not creating new laws as judges talking about some case law. We got this case law from the judges. The judges get to tell us case law. No. The judges are looking at what the freak has said in the state constitution and telling you if what you wrote or what you're attacking somebody with is in line with the Constitution that the people wrote. So the people are creating the original main fundamental law that the judges are going by. The problem is that they've been creating a whole nother set of stuff called administrative laws that has nothing to do with the people. It's for persons working for government. And then they try to institute that into cases where they're going against people, not telling them what their rights are. That's the dirty trick. Watch this. Section 1. This is their declarations of rights there. All political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their equal benefit, security, and protection. So the government here is here to benefit you, right? So why is it that the government is trying to stop people from having the power to do what they need to do? Now, this is straight from the Constitution, Kenna. I'm showing you Michigan Constitution in a way that no attorney in America will show you. I'm coming with the straight up, simple words that your forefathers left blowing their back out. There's not an attorney in America who can come touch me in this. Not because I'm great, but because God is great and he led me to this with my own fight and struggles. I wanted to punk out and just have the victory right away, and God made me learn. And I'm thankful for that now because I can see and I can tell all you amazing people who are strong and ready to do powerful things. And attorneys are watching now. Tell them to come out and deny what I'm saying. They're not going to do it. They could start typing in the chat and hide their face. The only dude who might try to do it is the F. Arduini guy who I tore his back out. In front of everybody, he tried to say government officials aren't trustees and servants, and then I showed it. But watch this, y'all. So I'm going to show y'all something else. Y'all want to know why I say that the people need to go to the legislature and tell them where they've been wronged in this right and that they shouldn't be going to the court? Watch this. This is the Bills of Rights in Michigan. And this is, or the Declaration of Rights, Section 3. The people have the right peaceably to assemble, come together, to consult, talk about the law, explain what their purpose is and how they need to reach the common good. That means they can look at the law too, not just attorneys. Consult for the common good, to instruct. So you got to be telling somebody to do something. I know I got a few going. I messed up a little bit. To instruct their representatives and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Y'all know what that means? Petition the government for redress of grievance means they messed up, they did something against your rights, and now you have the power to get redress. Redress means fix it. This lets you know that you're able to instruct the government. Because if you can't instruct the government, there would be no reason for you to have a redress of grievance. If you tell them what to do and they mess up, you have to have a way to fix it. Okay, quo warranto. Okay, so you notice how I say, show me where you got the right to do this. Show me where, because the Constitution is a grant of authority or warrants of authority, grants of power. Now, what happens is when the people create a constitution, I'll tell you what remonstrance is next. Well, remonstrance is a firm rebuke when a government official messes up and you want to show them that they messed up. I did one of these in 2019 against the state of Arizona. They didn't understand what it was yet. I'll show y'all how I trapped them with it and how they really screwed themselves and is sitting there waiting. It could get them put in prison. If they try to do funny business, it's already evidence that'll put them in prison. But remonstrance is a firm rebuke against government officials for not doing what they're supposed to do. Quo warranto is by what warrant of authority? By what warrant? See, I understand PMAs and trust law. Trust law is where you create a situation where somebody is working for the benefit of another, just like the government works for our benefit, like I just showed y'all. And we grant through what's called a trust indenture certain powers. Just like we saw in the Constitution, we give government these powers and don't let them deal with others. It also tells their duties and obligations to an extent. Same way in a trust. So when we deal with a trust indenture, we tell them how they are to function, and they are to, hey, Jesse, make sure you get the little guys. They're starting to yell. Sorry, y'all, got friends over. I'm probably going to be making some lasagna and stuff tonight. So, hey, if I got 3 shows going, just tell everybody to leave the other shows and come on this one. Let's get some numbers on this one. We got 451 people. Y'all learning the law like crazy. You guys are powerhouses. You wouldn't be here if you weren't monsters in the law and looking to learn and fight. So you guys, you have enough people here right now that if you taught 20 other people each, we would be able to take this nation back like this. Like for real, right? So I'm going to show y'all something. Remember I told y'all how there's certain things put in the Constitution that are your rights that the government said they would not take away. Ex post facto law is law after the fact. Hey, Marta. Watch this. Constitutional right from Black's Law 5. A right guaranteed to the citizen by the Constitution and so guaranteed as to prevent legislative interference therewith. The government, the legislature can, big bill in the house. I love me some bill. So the government cannot write law against our constitutional rights. Right? We got constitutional rights that are protected and nobody can touch it. Nobody. Y'all catching this? We never gave the legislature the power to touch it. Never gave it. So when we say quo warranto, it means by what warrant? This is how slick it is, y'all. I like to speak things in plain English because if you speak in Latin words, they can hit you with some Latin words. You don't know Latin, whatever. You messed up. Keep everything in common language so everybody who hears what you say, they learn. Watch this. So when you deal with basic law of the people, right? Everything in the Constitution is part of the trust indenture that you gave them authority to either deal with or not touch. When you show that you have a right in the Constitution, they're not allowed to make statute to interfere with it. So if they say, well, we got statutes that say you have to do this or do that to get a slaughtered of all the results of the selection, they broke the law, the highest law, that fast, right? So when you deal with the state constitution, I'll show y'all something. When you deal with the state, and common law, okay, because I showed y'all how Michigan speaks about the common law there. So I want y'all to see that the legislature can't write anything against your rights. What's up, Michael P? Your rights come from God, and they are equal for all men. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all the beginning of this, and it's going to prove to you that the people write the fundamental law of the trust. Certain things in the trust the government does not have the power to touch, period. So whatever you see in the declarations and bills of rights, we remove that from the power of the government. So let's look and see. Common law. So y'all know I'm not making this up. As distinguished, that means it's different from law created by the enactment of the legislature or of legislatures. Now, if law comes from the enactment of legislature, it's not common law. Law cannot be written that takes away from the common law, period. What's up, Robin Cobb? How you living? Hey, Shannon. Yeah, this one is really working. I'm here. I'm live. We all the way live. We all the way live. All right, I'm going to go back and show y'all how to blow these people out the water. Now, notice, guys, that we cannot make a law as the legislature that will interfere with the right of the people. Judges who are listening to statute are making decisions based off of what's written in the statute, but the statute can't be made to interfere with the people. So if a judge is listening to statute, you're in the wrong court. You're using the wrong argument. If somebody brings the Constitution as the plaintiff and say you're interfering with my right, they are not allowed in a court of record to bring the statute saying, well, the statute 52.5626 says we could do this. Shut the freak up. The legislature can't write a law that will limit my right in even the ballet situation. And I'm going to prove it. So we're going to go back. We're going to go back to Section 4, text of Section 4, Article 2, Michigan Constitution. And I'm going to explain to you how to understand this. Section 1, every citizen of the United States who is an elector qualified to vote in Michigan shall have the following rights. So we're telling what the freak our rights are in the Constitution. You know what I just read? The constitutional right that the legislature can't interfere with? It is guaranteed. If you argue the statute, you're giving the judge permission to argue the statute as if you're a person of government. You're not a person of government. You're one of the people. The people have all political power. There's no way around this. Watch this, y'all. A, the right once registered to vote in a secret ballot in all elections. Now, I'm going to break it down how this works. We're going to go down to Section H. And it says, the right to have the results, right? The right to have the results. The right to have the results of statewide. Now, when it says statewide, it literally means every freaking county, right? Every jurisdiction, the whole state, from one side to the freaking other, from top to bottom. Elections slaughtered it. You can check them. This is what I was talking about earlier, Bill. So you have the right as one of the people to have the results of the statewide selection audited. In the statute, what they're trying to do is make you guys prove that there was some frizzard. You got to prove it with no discovery so that they can then give you discovery to see if there was frizzard. That's utterly crazy what the statute is doing. You don't need to make a single argument about frizzard. That word should never even come out of your mouth. The attorney, the word should never come out of your mouth. What you would say is, hey, didn't y'all all swear that I have a right in the state constitution and y'all would uphold it? That me as one of the people, I can have a statewide audit of the selection in such manner as prescribed by law. Now, I think this might have hit you guys for a loop when Nick or CanCon showed this to y'all before. The reason is it says prescribed by law. Usually attorneys believe that means the statutory law. You can make statutory law to give processes for that, right? But it also deals with what is in the law right here of who's qualified and all that stuff in the bills and declarations of rights and inside of the election section or things in the Constitution. Now, you don't need a law telling a statute telling exactly how you can do it. That's why your forefathers leave it broad and open, because they want for you to have all the different types of possibilities of remedy that you could possibly have, one being the legislature. So they can't just tell you exactly how you're going to do it, because if one entity gets wrong, like the courts are, then you're in trouble. So let's look. It says such manner as prescribed by law to ensure. It's going to tell you why. You don't have to do a slotted to find frizzard. All you need to do is a slotted for the purpose of ensuring the accuracy and integrity of selections. You're not looking for frizzard. You're getting the results and auditing everything about them so that what you might be able to do is check for or ensure the integrity and accuracy of the selections all the way across the state. Your right is not to be able to make you have to prove frizzard. Your right says The purpose of this is to make sure everything is in good integrity, good faith, and it's accurate. Now, you make a mistake when you say, let's go to court and see if we can get discovery by finding that they did something wrong or showing they did something wrong. The purpose of your right is to not show somebody did wrong. It's for them to show they didn't do wrong because you're the boss of the business. So when you go into your own business and you say, I need to go check and make sure that everybody got the inventory right, all the money is right, everything is straight. If they tell you, no, the bylaws that we created say that you can't do this, you can't look at this. No, you're not going to look at it. It costs too much money. It takes too much time. Mother freaker, I own the business. I own the business. What the freak do you mean it takes too much money and too much time? Are you freaking crazy? Are you crazy? So let's realize. People will say, well, no, that don't make sense because we have to have a method in the statute to tell us as attorneys what to do because we can't do anything if we don't have statute to tell us. God forbid somebody tell us to do something that's in the higher level constitution and we don't have a whole bunch of little statutes telling us every little step, right? That just means we have no authority or power no more? No. Watch this. All rights. So this is a constitutional right that is declared by the people the government swore to protect already. You ain't got to ask them for permission. They already swore. All rights set forth in this subsection shall be self-executing. You know what that means? You go to the legislature and write them a letter and say, hey, I have the power to do this. Let's get it going. This is what I want. This is how I want to do it. Bam, let's go. Self-executing. I don't need to go to court and see if I have a right to do this from a silly judge who already swore that I have a right to do this when he swore to the state constitution. Let's go deeper. So some people will say, well, what if the legislature writes statute that says we can't do this or they limit us somehow? Let's see. This subsection shall be liberally construed in favor of voters' rights, us, in order to effectuate its purposes. So you need to have a broad imagination when you think of the ways that the people can do this, because this is for the people and geared towards them, not towards the Secretary of State or somebody else trying to limit them from doing what they have the power to do. Let's go deeper. Nothing contained in this subsection shall prevent the legislature from expanding voters' rights beyond what is provided herein. So what does that tell you? That tells you that if it shall be liberally construed, and this already tells you what the rights of the people are, they have an inference, they infer, right? They come to the conclusion, or would give you the idea that they come to the conclusion, that the legislature does not have the power to remove this right or limit it at all. It said it shall be broadly construed. The legislature can't make nothing to narrowly construe it or to limit the right. That is what the common law does. The common law is common to all men. The legislature does not write common law. The legislature has no power to remove the common law of the people as seen in the declarations and bills of rights. It is untouchable. Now, some of y'all will say, well, Dave, that sounds like a crazy foreign idea, and I'm so happy that people say stuff like that. Because I don't just say stuff. I'll take you across the country and show you how republics work. And I don't go take you to some lawyer book that says, this is how republics work. Or this is how, what do you call them? Not republic. Democracies work. We got to protect our democracy. I don't give a darn about a democracy. We are a republic. And people keep feeding us this bull to take us away from our true power and our true rights. So I'm going to prove to y'all that legislatures don't have the power to write a law reducing your rights, period. It doesn't exist. When they say you got to wear a mask, it's a hoax. When they say you got to get a vaccination, it's a hoax. When they say you can't go outside, it's a freaking hoax. Every single time. You just got to know the law and the truth to believe it. Matter of fact, they can't even vote to take away your right. They can't take away your right. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. I'm going to show you what a republic is and how a republic get down. This is going to be Article 1, Texas Constitution. This is going to be some real fire. Y'all going to learn a ton today. Everybody share this video. Get this out there. Let's get the people moving. We're taking the nation back and we're growing exponentially. The day for this foolishness is over with, y'all. Y'all are too strong, too powerful, coming together too fast. These people cannot defeat you. No attorney can defeat you. They just need you to believe that you can't defeat them. They need you to believe that you're stupid and you don't know. Watch this. Text of Section 2. I'm going to show y'all why we get in trouble. Inherent political power, Republican form of government. I'm going to teach y'all about a republic. We about to have some fun. And I'm not going to teach you about a republic based on my dumb words. I'm going to teach you about a republic based on your beautiful forefathers. And y'all know Texas for a long time stood with strength and power and might based on your brilliant forefathers. So let's look at what they left in their love letter to you. Watch this. All political power, all, not some, all political power is inherent in the people. Y'all, right? And all governments are founded on the people's authority and instituted for their benefit. The government is here to serve you and benefit you, not to tell you what to do, not to act like they own you. Let's go deeper. The faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation, right? To the preservation of a Republican form of what? Government. And subject to this limitation only, they have at all times the inalienable right to alter, reform, or abolish their government. It belongs to them. Their government in such manner as they think expedient. You know why they don't write out a whole bunch of statutes to tell you how to do everything in the Constitution? They do that because what's happening is that you can do things in whatever manner as a people you think is expedient. That's how broad your power is. We want to get rid of them. How do we do it? Well, we just show that a majority of us by affidavit want to get rid of them. Okay, boom, let's do it. We want to get rid of them. We're going to use the legislature to remove half of the government and impeach everybody because they were all working together and we found out, and restore good government. Bam, let's do it. You have the 100% guaranteed right, and your forefathers were smart enough to not confine you with certain things because they can't think of every group that might turn on you. Let me know if y'all still here and y'all seeing this. Now, I'm going to show y'all something else. Text of Section 3, equal rights. All free men, when they form a social compact, have equal rights. And no man or set of men is entitled to exclusive, separate public emoluments or privileges, but in consideration of public services. Emoluments are the benefits, advantages, and gains that you get from your position. Now watch this. I'm going to show y'all something else. This one is going to get so heavy. It's going to blow you guys away. Because David Jose, let me know. Somebody say some words or something because I can't tell if y'all are still on. Because it looks like the comments are not going up. So I'm going to show y'all something. I promise you, this is the heaviest stuff ever. Now, I told y'all that the government does not have the power to do anything against the Bill of Rights. Here's text of Section 29. Provisions of Bill of Rights accepted, meaning you don't have it, from powers of government. Now, let's see. Watch this. To guard against transgressions, that means y'all hurting us. To guard against transgressions of the high powers herein delegated, we declare that everything in this Bill of Rights is accepted out of the general powers of government. None of y'all got the power to interfere with what the freak we put in here. Period. And shall forever, time can't make this leave, shall forever remain inviolate. You can't touch it. You can't violate it. and all laws contrary thereto or to the following provisions shall be void. Now, guys, I think my video might have froze because nobody's saying anything. And I actually had 512 people watching for like the last half an hour. So I'm thinking that my system messed up. Let me see. Yeah, I think my system messed up because I've been at 509. I'm at 595 people watching and I'm showing 512. So I'm trying to look at it and it's spinning. So, oh no, it's still on. Okay, guys, you saying it's not froze. Okay, so is everybody hearing what I'm saying well? Because I see where my screen is not allowing me to see what you guys are saying anymore. But please let me know. I don't know how we're going to do that because it won't work. Please let me know if you guys can see what it is that I'm saying and if you understand where I'm going. I apologize, guys, because VayTube are killing my stuff. We have been here and loud and clear. You're good. I'm good here. Okay, so can you guys see where this is like super serious good stuff? And refresh your stream. Let me try. I'm gonna try to go out and come back in. If it dies out, then what I want you guys to do is stay here for a little bit and I'll try to make it work. I'm gonna try to stop the stream.
I'll be in there watching. All right.
All right, y'all. I'm trying